Well, hello there, everybody. Hello. Good evening. It's Sunday evening. We're doing 5 o'clock live or live at 5, whichever one we want to look at. Live at 5 o'clock live. We're here for the evening. Let's see if we can get a little bit better angle on this camera. There we go. A little bit better angle, so there's not as much headroom. Gotta have some, but you don't need but so much. Hi, everybody. We're coming off of a cool breeze of our weekend. Football is on for those who are watching or not watching football. Football is on right now. Let me bring my microphone a little bit closer. And I think Mahomes is playing against Buffalo, maybe the Buffalo Bills. Let me make sure I'm on the right. I don't think I am. Make sure I'm on the right. Oh, I am on the right internet. You should be looking better up there, sir. It is blinking. It's doing something, but it should have a little bit better strength up here, but doesn't look like it does. Been a cool weekend. Cooly. I know it's been cool other parts of the world too, not just here in Jacksonville, but it's currently 42 degrees here in Jacksonville, Florida. This is Florida. That is currently 42 degrees. So I've got some chili cooking on the stove. Got some chili. I was kind of feeling chilly-ish. Besides just being chilly, I was kind of feeling like eating some chili. So I put some together. And it's, what's it called? Low boiling, simmering. It's on the stove right now. And when we finish this call, I'll go have me a bowl. My husband will have a bowl. My son and grandson are here. They'll get to have a bowl. And we'll see what that's all about. We'll get to see if the chili, it ain't homemade chili. It's chili from, well, it's homemade. It is homemade. I took a chili packet or two. I took 2 chili packets. I took 2 cans of tomatoes and 2 cans of beans and some ground turkey and some ground beef. I guess I call homemade, right? I didn't, slice up my own onions and nothing like that. I didn't do all that. As far as that goes, no. I bought a chili packet for the seasoning, and it's going on with that. That's what's happening. So we're gonna have some chili. Does anybody in the chat put sour cream on their chili? I used to live in Louisville, Kentucky, and up in Louisville they put spaghetti in their chili. But I would say I was raised down here in Florida, and we never put spaghetti in our chili. But up north, or up in Kentucky anyway, they put spaghetti in their chili. So if you're somebody, are you a spaghetti chili person or not? If so, tell us which one you are. Are you spaghetti chili person or no spaghetti? I didn't do spaghetti, but I ate it while I was up there. It wasn't bad, but but spaghetti inside the chili felt a little more like liquidy spaghetti. It felt more spaghetti-ish than it did chili-ish. But if you're a spaghetti person and you're chili, say me in the comments. If you're a no spaghetti, I'm a no spaghetti, right? I'm a no spaghetti. Let's see who I hear noises outside. See who's out there. There's some cars pulling up. What's up with that? I didn't see anybody, by the way. I'm a little early, which is why I'm just kind of talking about the stuff I'm doing. So y'all just hold on. We're going to get this call up and running here in a short order. But I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen. I think we can do that. Share screen, and we can move forward. That way we can look at the football game together. We look together. If we want to look at the football game, we can look together. This is SPX. The SPX last week. And if you see here, let me make it a little bit bigger so y'all can see what last week ended up looking like. But this is last week's stuff, right? This is a weekly chart, which means every candle is the week's worth of data, is 1 week's worth of data. Every candle is 1 week. So this big candle here was last week, and the one SPX been going on up. So the question I asked on the thumbnail was, do we have more upward movement? When I went back looking for some resistance up here, I found none. I found no resistance. So at this point, it's stopping when some news happens, maybe, or when it wants to. I'll stop when I get ready. That's how that's going to be. So this is the weekly chart. I put us some support here at 46.95, bumped over 47. Now we're over 48. There's probably some support in here in the 47.70 area, but this was basically a little bit of a pullback just so we could run some more. This was 3 weeks ago. Well, 2 weeks ago, this was a pullback. So let's switch over. I'm going to switch to the daily chart because we have some gaps that are now formed. This is why you see I've written here buyer's gap. Those are daily gaps that have formed when the price jumped up. This indicator here, for those who look at candle patterns, I'm not sure if you can see this little bitty green here, this doji, I think it's called something else. It's like a sword looking thing, but this is an indication. This candle here is an indication of a reversal. This right, there was selling pressure. It opened and closed at literally the same spot. And selling pressure, I'm not sure, again, I don't know if y'all can see the candle here because I'm trying to make it bigger for those who are looking maybe on their phones. But there's a little bitty candle right here. And it's a long candle, but there's no open. The box is not there. Basically, this is an indicator of turnaround. So it was a seller's gap that became a buyer's gap because it just jumped right back over it again. And then after this was Thursday, it jumped up again for Friday. And Friday was, the range for Friday was that's not $1.20. It opened at 47.96 and closed at 48.39. So 40, the range was 58. There we go. The range is 58.87 was a definite green day for Friday. Definitely a green day for Friday, but this is what we had to look at. This was Tuesday. That was last Friday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday it went on. I mean, I did mention last Sunday that SPX had hit a resistance area. SPX and SPY had hit a resistance zone and would have some pullback, and it did. It pulled back for this was Friday. It pulled back Monday and Tuesday, Tuesday and Wednesday, because it was a short week. It pulled back Tuesday and Wednesday, and then it got some strength and went on up. So it went right on past, jumped over this little resistance area and ran up from there. Because remember, support and resistance are interchangeable. So here it's showing as resistance, but if price jumps over it, then this 47.95 became support. Support and resistance are interchangeable. So that's what we got going. Again, are we going up some more for the week? Potentially going up some more. Let's look at what meetings we have scheduled for this week. Right? Monday, we got CB leading index, yellow folder. Tuesday at 10 o'clock, we've got Richmond Manufacturing Index, orange folder, medium volatility expected. Wednesday, we've got Flash Manufacturing PMI, Flash Services PMI, and crude oil. Crude oil really should be orange inventories. That's all red and orange. That's all Wednesday, 9:45 and 10:30. On Thursday, we've got advanced GDP, unemployment claims. Is this the right week? This doesn't feel like it's the right week, but it is. It feels like there was something else I was missing. Maybe the PMI is what caught me. GDP, red, that's red on purpose. Gross domestic product, unemployment claims. Hopefully they wanted to keep coming down. Advanced GDP, durable goods orders, got all that. New home sales, natural gas storage. And then on Friday, we got another red folder with core PCE price index, personal income, personal spending, and pending home sales. Red folders Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. All right, red folders Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Good evening, Janae. How you doing? Monday and Tuesday. Monday, we just got a yellow folder, and Tuesday, we have an orange folder. So maybe not as much volatility, which again, unless something happens to make SPX turn around, it could either consolidate. I mean, after a big move, and Friday would be called a big move, moving 60 points, big enough, right? After a big move, SPX usually will sit a minute and consolidate. You know, any stock has to sit for a little while, consolidate, and gain strength. So that may be what happens on Monday or Tuesday. Again, none of this is investment advice. I'm just talking about what I see and see what goes from there, right? Let's switch over, though. I want to switch over to earnings from this coming week. We got earnings this coming week. Hello, Tamar. How we doing? How we doing? Let's do, or actually I can go back to this screen and put earnings up here because it'll be easier for me to see. Hope y'all can see better too. So we are now in earnings season. All right. We did the banks last week and we got a little bit more banks, but you know, we're moving from banks into other things. Monday, we got the Bank of Hawaii on Monday morning before open. After close on Monday, United Airlines is having earnings. There's a few airlines reporting this week. Airlines, I guess, you know, something like that all kind of report together. Logitech, Agilysys, AGNC, Investment Groups is a banking thing. Brown & Brown Insurance, that's financial too. Zions Bank Corp, again, financial. CrossFirst Bank Shares, Great Southern Bank, Enterprise Financial, Trustco Banks. A lot more banks on Monday after close on Monday, okay? Tuesday morning, we've got Verizon, 3M, GE. What is the stock price of GE? I used to work for GE back in the day when I was working as an engineer. I worked for GE. I'm not sure if anybody knows anything about their manufacturing management program, but I worked in South Carolina at the gas turbine plant. I really liked that area. It was like in the Greenville, South Carolina area. It was very nice. Then I went from there to Louisville, Kentucky, which is how I ended up in Louisville because I worked for GE in the appliances division. RTX is Tuesday morning, Halliburton, Tuesday morning, Johnson & Johnson, Lockheed Martin. Lockheed Martin should be doing okay. Doesn't Lockheed Martin do a lot of stuff with the war? Or don't they support war efforts? And I don't think we're out of that at this point. P&G is Tuesday morning, DR Horton. I don't have nothing good to say about DR Horton. Don't get me on my soapbox. And Picard. I'm not sure who Picard is or Picard. I've never heard of them. Never heard of them. Hey, Lisa. Sure, tomorrow. So thanks for asking. Just looking forward to my charting predictions. Yes, ma'am. We're going to get it this week. We did a good job last week, too. On Tuesday after close, Netflix, Intuitive Surgical, Texas Instruments, Steel Dynamics, Stride, Baker Hughes, CNI, MBT Bank, East West Bank, and Covenant. Covenant is the trucking people, I believe. I think if that's the same people. Usually I want to hear the DR Horton story. Child, are you sure? The house I bought a brand new house last November. So it's been a little over a year and it's a DR Horton house. And Lord, besides the house and its set of issues, DR Horton has some little finicky practices about how they work the finances when they put you in a house. So when you're buying a house, they don't put you in nothing. When you're buying a house, they seem to smooth over those books so that after the year is up, when it comes time to really do when your house gets appraised fully and you do all the things for your escrow and all those things, you realize that they really weren't very transparent on the front side of that. So your mortgage can go, well, ours did, and everybody in my neighborhood did, goes way up because when they first set it up, they set it up with like the value of the land only, right? So the land could be valued at $25,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. Well, once you buy the house, you take that up into the 350s, right? That means when we do property taxes on 50,000 versus 350,000, it's going to be a much bigger difference, right? So, and that extra property tax stuff has to be put into your mortgage or put into escrow. So that way, when it comes property tax time, it's there to pay. Of course, all that stuff wasn't disclosed when we was at closing, at and before closing. So after a year, you realize your mortgage jumps stupid, and you're like, "What happened? What happened?" Yeah. So that's the short version of the story. I won't talk about the bad design of the house because that's neither here nor there. But it's just designed poorly. AT&T Wednesday morning ASML. I think ASML is semiconductors. Is ASML semiconductors? Progressive, Abbott, Amphenol, Freeport, McFerrin. Oh no, McFerrin. No, Macmillan maybe. Cooper and Gold. Kimberly Clark is Wednesday morning. Elevance Health, SAP, and Textron. Wednesday we got Tesla. Did y'all see that they have recalled every Tesla that was done in it's all right, Tamar. Every Tesla that was in the US, they've recalled it so they can limit the self-piloting part of the software. I guess after the movie, did you all see that movie? What about the world? Something about the world. That movie that was on Netflix, that where all the Teslas was running into each other because they were all trying to go someplace else, the self-drive. So anyway, right after that, Tesla is now recalling all of their Teslas so they can adjust the self-driving, the pilotless driving part of the software. I think that's quite interesting and telling. But anyway, they've got earnings on Wednesday after the close. IBM is Wednesday, ServiceNow, Sands, Las Vegas Sands, Lamb Research, United Rental, Seagate, that's Tech, Knight, Swift, Crown Castle, and PCA. Is all on Wednesday after close. Thursday, got some airlines: American, Next Era Energy, Alaska Airlines, Southwest Airlines, Blackstone Group, Humana, Dow, Next Era Energy Partners. Didn't we just do? Maybe they're okay. So now this is the Energy Partners, and this is Next Era Energy. Valero, which is gas, and Sherwin-Williams for the paint. Thursday after the close, Intel, which I think I had INTC on our sheet for this week. I had to take it off, and actually I should have taken off United. We'll talk about that when we get to our trade suggestions. Visa, which is a financial, Arthur Gallagher, T-Mobile, KLA, Western Alliance, Capital One Financial, Levi's, L3 Harris, and Appfolio, right? And then Friday before market opens, American Express, Colgate Palmolive, Booz, Allen and Hamilton, Autoliv, Norfolk Southern, First Citizens Bank Shares, Moog, MOOG, Oxford Lane, Southern Plains Financial, and Stellar Bancorp. Okay. Yeah, they were running into each other. So, yeah, Janae, I'm not sure if you saw the movie. Did anybody knows the name of the movie? I'm trying to remember. It had something to do with the world. The word world, I think, was in the title. But it's on Netflix. The movie was actually produced by Sandra Bullock and Barack Obama. Which means, Barack Obama probably knows some stuff that some of the others of us don't know. So leave the world behind. There we go. I know there was world in there somewhere. But in the movie, hope I'm not doing a spoiler alert. In the movie, these people were trying to leave this spot, and all the Teslas were going, and they were all white, which I thought was really weird that only the white ones were going and running into each other. They were just driving, and they didn't even, and whatever's supposed to make them stop wasn't made. They were just running right into each other. They're just crashing into each other. And it was like, it's like they were going wherever they were going by any means necessary. So that was interesting. Quite interesting. Okay. That was Leave the World Behind. It kind of ended weird, but yeah. So let's look at last week. Last week we did our regular, our regular spreads and stuff that I do this graphic every week, right? And this graphic, I went back to look at how did everything do. Hey, Royal Diadem, how you doing? I went to go see how everything did. And look, it was of our cash secure puts, 2 out of the 5 were good trades. The Hut and Riot were both crypto based, Bitcoin based things, and they're coming back out of the gate. And then Save has been acting crazy. I don't think I'm going to put Save on here until I can see something different on their option chain. That option chain, I think that's Spirit Airlines. The option chain looks kind of wonky, but TZA and Upstart both were good trades. But of the credit spreads that we had 18 suggestions that I made, and of this, 16 of those turned out to be good. That's a pretty good return. That's a pretty good percentage. Let me see. 16 out of 18, what percentage is that? 16 divided by 18, that's a 80%, 88, it could repeat. So 88.8% good profitable trades. You have to go look at it, Lady T, on Netflix. Leave the world behind. But yeah, so of the ones we picked, if you picked any of these with the check mark, they would have turned out good. XLK, which is Tech took a big run up toward the end of the week when everything else was running up. XLK got on the horse too. The XLK was also on the put credit spread side. So if you had the put credit spread, it went fine. And the call credit spread side got breached. And NVIDIA is up almost at $600 right now. Janae says last week was good for chips and tech, and some even had high highs. Then like Taiwan Semiconductors had earnings last Thursday, and they just moved on up a little higher. So 16 out of 18 last week. we're gonna clap that up. I'm gonna give us a good pat, like yes. Woohoo. We're doing, y'all know we get ready to do our what is our thing we're doing? We're doing our small account challenge. Our small account challenge is coming up next week, and I'll put it up here. Is it showing? Let me see if it'll show. Pow. It's not next week, February 5th. So we got 2 weeks. It's starting on February 5th through March the 1st. Right? If you want to join the small account challenge, we're using credit spreads and such like that to make sure that we're growing our accounts or growing our collateral by about 10% a week, 10+% a week, right? My objective is that we would be able to use credit spreads to trade whatever it is you want to trade. Credit spreads can be used on everything, and you're going to be able to do that and make you some consistent returns on your money. Yeah, we clapping it up. 16 out of 18, we'll take it. We'll take it. It's not always as great every week, but we get more goods than not goods every week, every single week. Okay. Let me go down here to the banner. I'm going to take it off of here, and then I'll put it back on scrolling. Put it back on scrolling. Scrolling. Okay, this is our list for this week. If you are here and you haven't subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do so. Put the notification bell on so you can make sure that you see us every week or every day, because I'm going live every morning with a morning call. It's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9:25, and Tuesday and Thursday at 9 o'clock. At this point, we're going live on YouTube every day of the week, and I'm making a decision in the next week or so to determine how I want to continue that. So we'll see how that goes. But that call in the morning is generally a part of the membership, and part of my membership that we do is really behind the veil of the membership. But I decided to bring us out to the YouTube world for the month of January, and we'll see what happens after that. Okay, so we've got 5 cash secure put ideas, right? We've got Clean Spark, which is in the Bitcoin space, and Mara is in the Bitcoin space. We'll look at these things. If you see something on this list you want us to look at, then definitely, because you know I'm not going to look at everything, but let me know and we'll look at some of them. Upstart is here. Affirm is here. Oh, I got Upstart written twice. Well, that wasn't the plan. Which strike do we pick? I want to say Upstart 27.5 is actually it, but we definitely got to look at Upstart so we can clarify which one we should do. I mean, which strike is better for that? I just noticed we had 2 upstarts on here. Call credit spreads. We got TZA, TNA, United Airlines, which has earnings. So I wouldn't suggest you do United Airlines unless you plan on opening it and closing it before, or no, they're having earnings on Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday, or was it Monday? United Airlines has earnings on Monday after close. So if you want to wait and do United Airlines after their earnings are released, that may be a better move, because then you can, ride the wave, right? So United Airlines is having earnings Monday, so be mindful of that, right? I usually don't put earnings trades on here because I don't ever suggest that you trade credit spreads in earnings, because earnings is like a binary event, and the opportunity for the price to go kind of volatile is high, and that's not the way credit spreads. That doesn't work too good with credit spreads, not in the 1 week window. XLB is on the call credit spread list. TNA, XLU, ENPH, Enphase, and XLY, right? Put credit spreads. TZA is here. Upstart, XLP, XLY. Berkshire Hathaway showed up on one of the lists, and I thought that might be an interesting one to look at. BRKB, I think it's .B. And then SOXL, TNA, Amazon, XLK, and Meta. Did anybody have some thoughts, or anyone they want to add? Anybody got any thoughts or something they want to add to what we got going? Which trades what do we want to look at? Which ones do we want to look a little closer at? Look a little closer. Anybody? Do we have any ones on this list that we want to lean in on? I'll bring this back up and take us to Amazon. All right, Karen. We got Amazon. Question. Hi, Gianfranco. How you doing? In the spreads, is the first number the short leg? So it depends. That's a very good question, Franco. For the call credit spreads, the first number is the sell leg. In the put credit spreads, the second number is the sell leg. Okay. In the CCS, I'll put in the notes. In CCS, the first number is the sell leg. In PCS, the second number is the sell leg. You always need to know that the sell leg is always closest to the current price. The sell leg is closest to the current price. Yeah, Spirit is tanking. So a pass, would pass be good? Since Spirit is tanking, would pass. What is pass? Patrick, what is pass? Unless you were trying to say put credit spread. Not put, you wouldn't want to call credit spread. But what is pass? Hey, Deborah. Got to ask again, Patrick. Or tell me the rest. I don't know what pass is. Will we pass? Yes. Okay, let's see. ENPH. Enphase. So I took INTC off being tail because it has earnings this week. Okay, I'm going to look at Upstart. Let me change us to a different screen. I thought. Add to the stage. Coming to the stage is Upstart. Oh, goodness. Come on. Okay, here we go. Get to the right thing. If it's tanking, we want to see what's going on. But Patrick, when you look at that, I know when you look at that option chain, the way the option chain, the pricing of it is too weird. Even when the market is open, it's weird. It's like, I don't know. Y'all got to figure out what this bid ask is going on. But if it's tanking, when something's falling, put credit spreads going to give you better premiums, but you need to make sure that trade with the trend first. And you want to make sure that if it's going to go down, like if it's going down, that you're looking for good support down there. You need to know that there's a good support that's going to stop it and turn it around. All right, so we're looking at Upstart right now. This is Upstart on the daily chart, right? This is a daily chart. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay, so it has come down to support at 29.63 and done a turnaround. It has come down and done a turnaround. So what did I have into? Trying to think of what I had for. I like to try to keep this on the screen. Upstart, we had 27.5 as the, and I really think 30 is a better place. 27.5 is going to, that's down here. With 27.5, it's the only thing is that's like 5 away from current price. Definitely always look to see what happens first thing in the morning. Always look to see what happens first thing in the morning or whenever you're going to trade it. Don't be jumping in on credit spreads at 9:30. No. You don't need to get in that volatility. Give it about an hour, let things settle down, and then look at your spreads. Interest spreads 10:30, 11 o'clock on a Monday. You don't need to rush in at 9:30. You need that volatility in one direction. If you're buying, if you're buying calls or buying puts, you may want that movement. But as a seller, that's not how especially because we're selling for the week. You're selling for the week. So you don't need to have an hour of high volatility. You want to let it settle down and see where we are, see what's going on. All right. So I would say on Upstart, I probably would go with 30 just because it's 2 below, 2 and some change below current price. And this was a good support. So I'd probably go with the 30. 27.5 is probably going to be a little more safe, but it may not have any premium down. That's $5 away from current price. So there may not be much premium down there. It's a $30 stock, right? You get $5 away from there. That's like one fifth of the way away from it. And it's not really going to do right. All right. So with Upstart, I probably would look in the 30 range, but definitely wait till Monday opens. I'll fix this graphic and put it in the right places, but just know that Upstart is probably going to be 30 would be a better spot, right? Clean Spark does seem to be on its way, even though Mara and those dudes were seeming to have trouble. Clean Spark seemed to be, well, maybe it's looking kind of not like it, but this candle is one that can indicate a turn. That long wick down there shows that it may be making a turnaround. Let's look at Mara real quick and see if it's got the same thing going. It does. Mara at least turned green on Friday and has a long wick. So this is going to be support here. This is going to be, there's some little gaps hiding in here. This can actually move. This line here can actually move to this little bitty gap. And this can go up here. Nope, not that one. I wanted the gap one to go up there. There we go. That's Mara. Mara has a few gaps above it, but this candle here looks like it's ready to turn around as well. Looks like it's ready to make a turn. Okay, if we're looking for resistance up here, it's at 27. These gaps will provide resistance too, though. All righty. What's next? Let's look at EMPH. If you got something else you're looking at, you want to bring it up. This is EMPH. I put us on the, let me go grab our little graphic again. ENPH on the call credit spread side. ENPH call credit spread at 109, 110. So 109, 110 is above this seller's gap. It's going to put us right up here. Right? Let me put us a little call credit spread 109, 110. Per tincture, right? Not investment advice. Not investment advice. Just a possibility. In case you're, looking to see possibility. There's a seller's gap, and that gap will provide resistance here if it was to get back up into that gap. At this point, current price is down here at 103. Down here at 103. Okay, if anybody's got some comments or questions, be sure to ask. Let's see what Amazon is doing. Amazon is good to provide some steady money. Amazon is good to provide some steady money. Let's see. We've had some little gaps here that were forming. I'll move these around so that way. Y'all know the dotted lines on my charts are for gaps. Actually, we're going to change this to buyer's gap here in a minute. These dotted lines or dashed lines for me signify, they help me to know that these are gaps. Okay, I need 2 of these. Actually, I probably could have waited and made it because this is now a buyer's gap. It was a seller's gap, and now it's a buyer's gap. And I might as well clone this one instead of that one. And this is also a buyer's gap. And this is noting. Okay, so this gap here is a buyer's gap now, but it was a seller's gap back here. So there's buyers and sellers hiding in this gap, right? It's a buyer's gap from this standpoint, but it never got filled. Well, what do you do when it's a double gap? Anybody knows about a buyer's and seller's gap? Tell us something in the chat. It's a seller's and buyer's gap because it was a seller's gap back here. It got partially filled. See this this green candle partially filled the gap from Friday, January 12th, but this little piece of it here never got filled. Well, not by the box of the candle. Some people believe that the wick fills the gap. I'm of the mind that the candle part, the body part needs to fill the gap, not just the wick. I don't think either one of those conventions is wrong, but I just say the one I go with is until the body of the candle fills it, in my opinion, it's not filled yet. That's just my opinion, and all of us have one that just like elbows, everybody's got one. Belly buttons. Okay, so support is at 151.47 and resistance, I mean, honestly, resistance is right here where we are right now because that's where it was before. Resistance was right here at 155. But see, listen, this is one, we're right at resistance, which is where you can get really good, premiums for a call credit spread. But you're going to want to see, you might want to wait and see that it turns. You might want to wait and see that it turns before, because this could go up as high as this wick. If you look over here, I usually stop my, support and resistance at the box. But you need to know always that this is a support and resistance is a zone. I might only put a line on here, but it's a zone. Resistance, too many S's. This is a zone. So you need to know that price can go up as high as this 157 before turning around, because it shows here that price action has gone up there before. It wasn't sustained this time, but this was back on January 11th, last Thursday. Was it last Thursday before last? Thursday before last, because last Thursday was the 18th. But this is a zone here. Price could go all up the way up to 157. So if you're going to look at doing a call credit spread, you're going to want to do it above this 157. But a lot of stuff seems to be up in its all-time highs. It's just like or 52-week high. It's just a lot of stuff seems to be just pushing on past these zones. So with that being said, you definitely want to, keep your eyes peeled. Keep your eyes peeled. Let me take some of these dotted lines off because these gaps have been filled by the body of the candle. See, this gap here was filled with the body of this candle. Part of this gap between this seller's gap here was filled by this candle. But there's still, so this is kind of a buyer's and seller's gap too. It's kind of a mixture. Let me see if I can. Did anybody say anything in a comment about gaps that overlap? Overlapping gaps. So if I was going to do something on Amazon, if I was going to trade, what did we put? We did put something on our paper. Let's on our little thingy here. We put Amazon 149, 150 as a put credit spread. I didn't put it on as a call credit spread because we are at resistance. But I would want to see what Monday holds. I'd want to see what Monday holds. 149, 150 is down here though, so you've got a little bit of room there as far as your, 150 is your sell leg, so you got a little bit of space there, and that's, current price is 155, so that's $5 below current price. Not that it can't come down there because we know anything can happen, but I like the put credit because put credit spread better because if you look at it, we've been going upwards. If you're looking at the trend, we start the trend here. It's been going upwards, right? We got an upwards trend. So it's got some support here. This trend line will provide some support too. And if we were being fancy dancy, we could also put a trend line here and connect with this one. And what we see here is a rising wedge. So at some point it'll get to where in here and it'll have to go one way or the other. Boom, boom, boom. Maybe it bounces here and then runs up some more. That very well could happen. Very well could happen. I say safely, quote unquote, safely put credit spread would be a better spot. Let's go look at Berkshire Hathaway. BRK. Let me see if Berkshire Hathaway, BRK.B. Now, if you're doing it on, if you're looking at Berkshire Hathaway on Thinkorswim, you need to do BRK/B. BRK, which I think I put that on the graphic. I put BRK/. On TradingView, it's BRK.B. But Thinkorswim is BRK/B. Shoot, this one's kind of looking iron condorish. Y'all see that? The prices look like they're kind of hanging in there together, kind of hanging between two zones. There's a little bit of an upward motion, but it's not harsh. I mean, if you think about a trend line, what you can do trend lines till you're blue. But if we started with here, this trend, this line, and we hit these, that's basically the trend line we're working with. Upwards movement, but we've hit this resistance here. You see if there's any more back there that shows some resistance right there. Well, there's another one right up here. Horizontal line right here. Any ideas on Berkshire Hathaway, y'all who are looking? Any ideas here? It's been between these two zones since the 3rd of January. It has been in this zone between 368 and 358. Even if you went up to 371, you might be able. You see, this Friday candle, it went up to the line, but it wasn't able to go through it. It closed below the line. Hey, Saida. Y'all got any ideas on Berkshire Hathaway? Has anybody ever traded it? I traded it a little bit. Oh my goodness, it might have been 6 months ago. What made me trade Berkshire Hathaway? Something happened and made me trade it. 306. This is the one that we can work with, because the other Berkshire Hathaway .A, I think, is the one that's several $1,000s is each share. And I think it's a select group of people that get to buy it. I would probably look at I put it on the list. Let's see what we put on because I put it on here. It is on our little graphic as a put credit spread. 360, 362.5. There's some more lines in here. You see, let me change it to a line so we can make sure everybody can see what's happening. There's one right here. Change it to a line chart. We can see where it takes a rest, where it takes a break. Here's some back here too. See those? Peaks and valleys are support and resistance. That's 361.96. Right in this zone here, there's several stops. But even back here, you can see it. Back in this, that's October, which is why I was going with 360, 362.5, going upwards, because we're still riding on the little trend, right? It's a 2.5 spread, and you know a 2.5 spread is $250. Jamie says hundreds of thousands per share is that main Berkshire. Yeah, buddy, you got to really want it. You got to want it to win it, and we want it more. A 2.5 spread requires, it's supposed to be an R, $250 of collateral. When you're doing credit spreads, you definitely, hey Sonia, you want to make sure that you're trying to get at least a 10% return on your collateral for the week, right? So if you're doing a 2.5 spread, which is $250 of collateral, you want to collect at least $25 in premiums. All righty. You can go to a little less if you want to be more conservative. That's fine, but a good 10% per week is safe. Okay, that's a safe place. You want to make sure that you do your charting. You see, I'm going to the chart first, looking at that, and then I usually go to the Thinkorswim and look at probability out of the money. If you don't know, we have let me see if I can get it up here quick. But we have probability out of the money YouTube video. I'll grab it and we'll put it in the chat. There's a YouTube video about how to use probability out of the money to help you select strikes. Here we go. Greater profits with this probability indicator. Let me see if I can grab the link. This will help you to use probability out of the money as a way to select your strikes. Again, if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, you should go subscribe to the YouTube channel. I crossed over 400 videos the other day. They sent me a message going, yay, you're over 400 videos. And I said, yay, I'm over 400 videos. But this is our YouTube channel. This is the Educator2Trader YouTube channel. All kinds of goodness over here. All right. All kinds of goodness is here. So if you haven't been there, go over there and check it out. I believe you'll find something that'll help you out. Okay. That's Berkshire Hathaway. Did we have any others we wanted to look at? Oh, I didn't look at any XLs while we were here. Thank you, Janae. What XLs do we want to look at? Anybody got an XL that piques their interest? That's a lot of work. Yep, it's been a minute. We've been recording videos a long time. My editor's on the call, so y'all be nice. But he's the one who keeps us up and running and fights with me because we have to fight sometimes. Put them up. We have to put our dukes up. But I believe we love each other. He's my brother. Mi hermano. Keeps me on the right track. Anything else we want on here? We want to look at? Y'all aren't too big on the XLs. Jamie, do you know of any XLs that are at their zone? But even though I think I got almost all the XLs on here, I don't have XLE or XLR. I don't even think I have XLI on here. Well, I wanted to kind of look at XLI from the other day. Let me take this down, see what XLI is doing. SOXL, let's go look at that too. This is XLI. We like looking at the XLs because these are spider sector ETFs, so they have a lot of stuff in them, but they're not going to have the same volatility as a stock that's on a standalone. Okay, what's the ticker for Macy's, Sonia? I don't know what that ticker is. Is it just M? Mara has your attention. Okay, yeah, Mara and CleanSpark look like they're trying to turn around. Look like they're trying to make a move. Okay, this is XL. This is XLI, which is not on our graphic. We got, these are not seller's gaps either. This is a buyer's gap. Not a seller's gap anymore. Buyers came in. Boom, boom. Now this is again of sellers and buyers gap. We got a combo gap. This can come down, but it was a seller's gap first, and now it's a buyer's gap. I got to do a little more research to find out how do they behave when it's a combo gap. Somebody has an idea, definitely share with us about our combo gap. That's one there. I need one more line in here. I used to never chart gaps. I just didn't do it. And now that I chart them, it's like that's all you see. You see them and see them. This is actually that's not it is a gap. This is a seller's gap that got partially filled. And then we've got this. And then really our resistance is kind of down here now. Since this candle here, I'll put it over here. This candle here from January the 12th provided resistance for us because we dropped down. And the support, to be honest, is now here. So support is at 110 area, and resistance is at 112. Several candles in this same window. We'll see what happens coming out of here. But if you're going to do a put credit spread, you want to get down 109, 110. If I was going to do a call credit spread, I'd want to get above one of these gaps. Maybe this one, the 112, 113. I'd go up a couple resistance zones and do my trade up there for a call credit spread. Yeah, XLB has come down now back into the buy zone. Let's look at SOXL, and then we'll go to Macy's and then on from there. This is SOXL. SOXL got stuff happening too. SOXL is the semiconductors. So you turn this into a dashed line. And this one can do the same thing. It can become dash. I think I must have been charting these in a rush. It's a buyer's gap now. Was a seller's gap. Combo gap. Okay. And then we've got this here. Boom, boom, boom. And we got to make one more. I think we're at an all-time high, though, Saida. So when you get to 52-week highs, it's tough to get on top of them because there's some stuff up here, because then you got to watch to see where would it could it potentially stop. But back here in April of 2022, SOXL was in this zone even then. I want to say this little green candle right here is going to provide resistance, because I'm sure this spot right here is a rest, where it took a rest. Yep, right there. Y'all see this little peak, pew, and then it dropped back down. That's 37.42. We're currently at 34.86 is our current price, and 37 looks like it's a good resistance up here. So currently, though, you could go with a put credit spread, but there's a lot of gapping that happened. So there's support here. Support around 27.93.28. There's some support right in here, just below that gap. And it's been going from there. So 28, if I was going to do a put credit spread, I'd get maybe 27.28, something like that. And if I was going to look at a call credit spread, I'd go up above 37.42. If you wanted to do an iron condor. Yeah. XLB. We traded XLB going down, and then it kind of dropped down and hit a support area. And now it's with 81.61 is the support. There's another one down below it if you needed more room, but and there's another one there at 80 and some 80.50. There's a gap right in here. It's just a seller's gap. Okay. And then we've got a seller's gap was here, but then it's partially filled. So we do have it. It's down in the support area and going up towards some resistance. But in this little, again, this little sword looking candle is an indication of more upwards mobility, more upwards movement. So it may be good. Y'all may not be able to see it, but see this little green right here? Means that there's a little more upward movement happen. So do I have XLB? How do I have XLB on here? Oh no, that's too big. XLB. Oh, I have it as a call credit spread. It needs to be a put credit spread too. Call credit spread on top of this gap. Let me see. I got 85.86. Oh yeah, 85.86 is up here. Up here above, it's all the way up where my mouse is. Above this resistance right here, 85.86. But a call credit spread at this point looks like you got some good. Put credit spread because we're going up. So 80.81 or 81.5, 80.5, 81.5 could also be good. When you say how what, G Classens? How what? You just said how. How what? Be more specific. XLU. XLU. This has been going down a minute. It hadn't turned around just yet. Let's see if we see some support down here. Well, there's a gap below us, which is between 59 and 60 and some change. That came from November. But I believe XLU should be on the call credit spread list. Yep, 62, 63 on the call credit spread. So it will be up in here. Let's just some put credit spreads. We looked at Amazon. We looked at Upstart earlier. No, we didn't. We looked at Amazon. I mean, we looked at we did look at Upstart because we needed to confirm the thingy here. XLP. What is XLP? Did we look at that? And then we'll look at Meta. This is XLP. Support is probably another support is right here at the 72. Those are both supports. Resistance is still up here in the 72.96. This has been inside this little tight. Maybe it's gaining strength, trying to figure out what it wants to do. It'll break out one of these ways. But if you look at it, we do have an upwards trend going. You start here. Do have a little trend. Consumer staples is XLP. Thank you. Consumer staples would be what? Like toilet paper, shampoo, soap, that kind of stuff. That's XLP. And then I said we were going to look at Meta. Oh, I never did look at Macy's. Sorry, Sonia. Let's go look and see. Well, what do I see? I haven't charted Macy's. You can see there's not one line on here. Well, we can go with this. This was a buyer's gap that started here, and it has almost been filled. It's got a downwards ride going though, but it's been going upwards for a while. Notice we've got an upward trend, and then it kind of hit some resistance and turned around. So and it's come back down. Support is going to be down here at 17. There's another resistance. There's some more resistance spots in here. Some support. I think if I was going to trade Macy's, I'd want to look for the week. I'd probably do a call credit spread. There's some gaps in here. I'd look on the probability out of the money, probably going to be at 18.5 or something like that, or 19. I don't know how much it moves a day. It doesn't seem like it moves a lot. 18.5 or 19 is probably where I would go for a call credit spread for the week. If it came down and got closer to 16, I saw it wasn't going to do that, I probably would do a put credit spread, also make it an iron condor. But I think I'd start with the call credit spread if I was looking at Macy's. Yeah. Let's go back and see. Sonia, it is looking bearish. XLP. So the last 2 candles on XLP, isn't that a bearish engulfing formation? Yeah, I can go with bearish engulfing. This wick down here is they're about the same place though. So yeah, I would say that would be a bearish engulfing. It is hitting some support, but I would agree with that. It's engulfed the body for sure. Went up, and that would give you indication that it was, yep, that's keep in mind. So you've got couple things working at the same place. You're at support on, from a horizontal standpoint, you're at the support of a trend line, but you got another support that's down here, 71.78. If I was going to do it, I definitely would look under. If I was going to look under here or above, I think there's something in here. Nah, that's kind of momentum. That's not enough for you to put your booty on. Can't really make that into a chair. Not enough of a stop there. And Meta going up, put credit spread at or below 365. And I probably would even get a little closer. I would do, because this is some support right here at the top of this candle, which is 374 and some change. Then we got a buyer's gap right here, which the bottom of this buyer's gap is also going to provide some support. We've got Meta 365, 367.5, which puts us really down in here, down in this area below this gap. So you've got two sets of supports here. Looks like we've got some opportunities this week, right? We've got some opportunity. Sonia says, look like it might bounce because of the long wick buyers trying to push up. Yep. We've got some opportunities for some credit spreads this week. I think I showed that I used about $600 of collateral last week and made $85. That's about 14% return for the week. Not even a lot of money, which is why I wanted to share that. We know the small account challenge does not require you to have a whole lot of money that you want to trade credit spreads with. You can start with as little as $100, keeping in mind that you're going to generate about 10% returns for the week. So if you're trading with $100, that's probably going to be one or two contracts, depending if it's 50-cent spread or a dollar spread. And you're going to collect about $10, 10, 12, maybe $15. So, if you start with $100, you can expect to make between 10 and 15 in returns, right? Of course, you get going more money, then you can generate more money back in profits and premiums. So, but you can start with as little as $100. I don't want anybody to say I can't do it because I don't have enough money. You can start where you are. I'm a big fan of start where you are, and then let's grow it. Start where you are and let's grow it. But go over to Educator2Trader, and you can go ahead and join the small account challenge. It's going to start on February the 5th, like I said before, and we're going to do the month of growing our monties. All righty, E2T membership, 9:30 call in the morning, weekly training calls on Wednesdays. We have a monthly coaching call. We have an exclusive Telegram group where we really all trade together and have the support of a supportive community. They're all doing the same thing. We're all selling. Some people do some buying, but for the most part, our main gist in there is selling. That's primarily what we do, is sell. All righty, just a reminder, we're still going left this year. We're still going left. We're leaning in on 1 to 2 strategies. We're not all over the world trying to do everything and everybody. You have to be mindful of your coach and of which voices you're following. All right. You need to be mindful of that because people are doing different things. They're doing it different ways. You need to make sure that you're following somebody who is trading the way you'd like to trade, right? You don't want to necessarily be following a buyer if you're a seller, right? You want to stick with somebody who's going your direction. How can two walk together except they agree? You need to agree. You want to educate yourself on whatever strategies you really like. You want to get very good at them. We want to master them. We want to strengthen our strengths, right? And then we want to focus on fundamentals, which is trading, technical analysis, charting. We want to focus on those things and then trade with the trading plan. Follow your trading plan. You want to be following your trading plan. All right. Definitely want to follow the trading plan. Anybody else got anything else we need to discuss? This week, we will still be doing our morning call at 9 or 9:30, depending on which time or which day it is. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9:25, Tuesday and Thursday at 9 o'clock. If you are an options newbie, if this is all just, you don't know what you're talking about, lady, you might want to start with Options 411. It's going to introduce you to options, introduce you to the terminology, introduce you to the option chain. It's going to give you an opening look at what options really is. And if you're interested in doing that and getting into options, you may want to consider going with Options 411. All righty. I believe I have said what I needed to say for this call. We're a little bit past 6. I try to keep it to an hour. And I think we're good. Okay, we're free to go watch football. I'm free to go and eat some chili. Did y'all ever tell me whether you like spaghetti in your chili or not? I got 23 people here now. Are you a spaghetti in your chili person or no? I lived in Kentucky and they put spaghetti in their chili, right? But I was raised in Florida where we did not put spaghetti in our chili. So tell me in the comments. Sonia says no. Lady T says no. No and no way. It's not bad. It really tastes like chili spaghetti is what it turns out to be. Cornbread. You put cornbread with yours. Yeah, cornbread goes. Gianfranco, you're welcome, hon. Always welcome. I don't put spaghetti in mine when I make it, but I've eaten it in Kentucky with spaghetti and was like, oh, I don't know how I feel about this. It's usually a lot more watery there too. It feels more like the chili there is more like almost soupish. Jamie said I don't do spaghetti in chili, but Cincinnati they do. Yeah, Ohio, right over Cincinnati, Kentucky, they're right over there by each other. Saida says no. Spaghetti and chili. Yep, that's what they do up in Kentucky, the Cincinnati area. They put spaghetti in their chili. I was very shocked when I moved to Louisville, Kentucky, after I graduated from college, and was like, they were eating chili or serving chili. And I was like, what is this? Why is spaghetti? This supposed to be chili. What's this spaghetti? I've had it with rice. I've had chili with rice, but I've never had chili. I hadn't had chili with spaghetti until I went up there. And then I ate it there, of course. Franco says no, straight spaghetti. Spaghetti and chili, no. Karen, nope. So it's more, no Kentucky people over here. No yeses in this chat. All righty, everybody. Well, I'm going to see you all in the morning. And you got to remember that we're definitely going to do two things always in this community. We're going to stay green and we're going to get this money. All right. Goodbye, everyone. I'll see you in the market tomorrow morning. Everybody have a really good evening. Bye, all.